Hey, what's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. It's 11 o'clock here in New York, so we go live. Coffee with Creators right here from 42 West 18th Street. This is not a green screen. That is Adorama. You are always welcome here. I know you're in that chat, but these chairs are here for you as well. I got Sam Bouret with me today. We're going to get into who this guy is. I love this guy, and you know, I hate everybody, right? So, but no, like this guy, you're going to want to know him, and you probably already do know him because he's been all over the channels. We'll get into that, but before we do, I want to say a quick thanks to Rode for sponsoring this. You guys know Rode mics. I think it's an industry staple at this point. From the podcasting mics they've had forever, the mini shotguns you've seen all over YouTube. And, oh yeah, what are those things? The Rode Goes. They pioneered the little labs that everybody's using. Check out Rode's full lineup in the link down below. Rode, thanks so much for sponsoring this. I want to give another quick thank you to, I'm forgetting my buttons here, Tenba. Tenba is now supporting this show. You'll be getting a free Tenba bag to say thanks for coming on. You can always use more cases. I know you can.
I do.
Yeah. Tenba is, if you've been in this industry long enough, you've had a Tenba case. Since 1977, it was started by a photographer right here in New York, and they make everything you could think of as far as a case for travel, for larger items, for cine kits, for anything. So check out the links down below for Tenba bags. And last but not least, thank you, Gotham, for hooking us up with the coffee. Cheers, kid.
Cheers.
What did you get?
Latte.
A hot latte on
Hot latte
during
with
a
whole milk.
tropical heat wave.
Yeah, well, you know.
It's
It's a Spanish thing.
Okay. Gotham is one block up from us here on 18th Street. They're on 19th. So if you're coming here to an event like we have usually at 5 o'clock, go see them, get a coffee so you can pay attention, get most knowledge absorption, and say Adorama sent you, and thanks so much. And don't forget, they're owned by a photographer and filmmaker, so you're kind of helping out our game. All right. Sam Bouret, what's up, man?
What's going on?
So Samuel Bouret, this guy, first of all, he's known as a cinematographer, but he actually started as a photographer, and he's got his own production house. This guy, I got to tell you, I've had the pleasure of working with this guy. I don't even have to worry about it. I don't even think about it. Whatever he's doing, I know it's going to be great. I just focus on shooting, and he films it. But what you don't know is you've probably seen so much of him from Vanessa Joy, Lindsay Adler, like all the people that are in the photo education space. You became the go-to guy for all of us to basically make sure we get what we need to produce the videos we want to make out there, because you're rock solid. You're iron. Like, you know
thanks,
exactly. No,
appreciate
your
it.
technicals are down. Your style is down. Your workflow is quick. I mean, you are everything we look for in someone that can produce what you're producing. So I got a lot of respect for you. And as a human being, I think you're like one of the funniest guys.
Thank you, man. I think the same of you, man.
Oh, please. You probably have also seen him on the channel doing some of the product videos. R5C. I think you did the FX2 recently. So
Yeah.
Adorama Cinema, the Adorama TV channel, this one. I got to get you on the live events channel eventually.
Yeah, soon.
You know? And you're teaching workshops and all that.
Yeah, it's going great.
So, man, he's so nervous.
Yeah, no, I'm not nervous. I'm just waiting for you to give me something so I can say something.
Ooh. All right. All right. So you have been at this for about, your production company is about 9-10 years old. All right.
Yeah.
So when you were starting out, you were like, I'm doing stills, I'm doing photography, but there's probably something you said like, no, I gotta get a little bit more into video, or was it always the goal video?
No, it was photography. I started with photography. It wasn't even a goal to be a photographer ever. I was doing actually construction, and then I got hurt on the job, and I just decided to buy a camera. And I started shooting my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now, and we started taking images, started taking pictures, started posting on Instagram. Instagram was almost brand new back then. And then one of her friends saw one of the images I was taking of my wife, and like, hey, I'm announcing that I'm pregnant, and I want my son to be in the picture announcing it. And I think one of the files that I gave you was like my first image that I ever shot. Yeah. And from there, she paid me $100, and I was like, oh my God, $100 for an hour. I'm gold. I'm balling, you know?
It's like magic, right?
It's like magic. It's like, it just triggers something like, I can't believe I could maybe create something out of this. And I just continued doing it, got better at it, and then met event planner. She saw my work online. Hey, do you shoot event? Started doing sweet 16s, weddings. Then from weddings, they asked me, do you do video? I don't do video. Then I bought the 80D, started learning to do video. And from there, we're here now. It's a little longer of a journey, but that's basically the gist of how I got into photography.
It's never a short journey.
No.
You know what I mean, and you never know what the next opportunity is, and then
Yeah.
where it will shape the next place you go. And I think that's kind of the funnest part, is like not knowing what the next chapter is going to be.
It is.
But you got to get to a place where you're comfortable and feel confident that whatever it is, you handle it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been navigating different social platforms. I've met video guys that are like, I have to navigate vertical video now.
Yeah.
So is that something you're?
No, I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it?
I just sometimes I even carry 2 gimbals. I go vertical on one, and then I have the other one horizontal, because now everything is social media.
Yeah.
So they want horizontal for either their YouTube or their website, or they want vertical for social. So I either shoot horizontal and then I crop in editing, or, I just bring both cameras to be more efficient, just to move throughout the day faster.
So you've been doing a lot of like for hire work, but is there
Yeah.
is there anything in you to like, I have this creative project, I have this script, I have this thing I've had in my head. Is that something that you chase at all, or is it all like the glory is getting the jobs?
I think so. I think I'm very, it might sound cliche or something, but I'm very happy with my customers being happy with my work. And that's kind of like the pay for me. If somebody gives me credit, like, dude, I love what you did, that looked awesome, that's enough. I had like passion projects in the beginning, but now I'm just like happy to get the next client and keep clients coming back. So that kind of ensures me I'm doing a good job. So that's like kind of my motivation.
No, totally. I think that's kind of it's like this moment you have where you kind of decide like, well, is this something that's more of like, am I a first service, and is the hype for me the fact that I pulled off what they wanted? That's kind of how I am. It's like, oh, we need this shot. In my head, it's like, well, what's the solution, and can I get there? And that's what I'm psyched on.
Yeah.
I'm not really like, oh, I have this vision of this thing. I'm like,
No, I'm not like that.
When I was younger, maybe, but
I don't push my creativity. I do push it, but I'm kind of like, what do you need? What are you looking for? Did you see something in my portfolio that you liked? Let's shoot it like that. Did you see somebody else shoot something that you liked? Okay, I might not be able to achieve that, maybe either because of the budget or what it takes to achieve that, but I try to always kind of cater to what the customer is actually looking for and what they want. I don't really try to push like, this is how we should do it. I think like, what do you like?
right.
Sometimes I shoot stuff on tripod, which I use a lot of gimbal. I don't think it looks good, but the client posts it and then they love it, and I shoot it. I'm like, that's not the style that I would shoot, but you like it and you're happy and you're coming back, and that's it.
I mean, the goal for you was to deliver what they asked for.
Yes.
Right. And that's like, I think sometimes people have to make peace with that. I think there's a lot of people that struggle with like, well, it's not mine or whatever, but like sometimes it's okay. Guess what I got to do today? Shoot and pay my rent and then get to the next thing, and you always grow.
Yeah.
I find that if you shoot for other people's means, you learn something skill wise or technique wise or narrative point of view wise that you probably wouldn't have thought of otherwise.
100%. Sometimes when you shoot the stuff that you don't want to shoot, you always end up creating like another skill for yourself. I shot something that I wouldn't have shot that way, but now I learned this, so now I have another tool in my arsenal. So I think that always works out.
And also you shoot with a lot of established other creators. I mean, Lindsay Adler and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you pick up things in the way they have workflows that you go, oh, you know what? That's a good way to go about hiring a stylist. Oh, that's a good way about assembling a team, or even just like the way they structure a day out. Do you pick up anything from that?
Oh, 100%. Especially from Lindsay. She's just such at a high level of production that it's like, okay, I can't go that high, but I could probably get some tips from stylists to, let's bring it down this level to my level. But like learning from these great creators and photographers is like, where you need to be, and now you know what you're capable of doing, and see how they work, and it trickles down to you become more professional, more efficient. Especially with Lindsay, she's just a beast. She could be in the Amazon and the desert, no signal, she'll find a Wi-Fi and she'll answer a text, man, and she'll review a video, and then I'm like here at home waiting for a review thinking she's on vacation. Oh, I gotta go edit. She actually took the time to review it, so that keeps me on my feet.
Yeah, I mean, for all of us, you have to want to do it. You have to. She's on a mission, right?
Yeah,
and if you're driven, there's no replacement for that. I think, and I think you're very driven, and I think part of that might be because you get asked to shoot. You don't have to. You're at a place where people are seeking you. I've seen your schedule, and I'm like, this dude's gonna burn out.
Yeah,
it's crazy what you do. And I think one of your superpowers that you might not give yourself credit for is you're so easy to work with. You're such a personable person, and I think that goes so far. And then you deliver.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's a huge, I don't want to say reason for your success, but I think it can't be overlooked. And how do you go about being so easy to work with? Because you know that there's some clients that are just nightmares.
100%.
But you just smile and get through it. Like, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, what I think I do is I committed to this shoot. I'm here. I got to do the job. So either I become grumpy and make the shoot go worse than what it's going, or just get the job done and deliver. Sometimes I've had a client that's very bad to work with, but they recommended 2 other people. So at the end of the day, it's like how you present yourself. I think that goes longer, like a longer way than actually the quality of work. Working with others and being able to like be a chameleon and you know, just mold yourself to the situation is like, it's so important. I think it's overseen by so many people that I think you gotta be really willing to work with others very well if you want to get rehired. I think that's, like you said, I think that's my superpower, because obviously somebody with a camera, good quality, if you put in work, you could achieve the quality that I'm getting, but there's all this other stuff that you got to work on in order for your business to be like kind of profitable and keep on getting that callback.
Yeah, I always think of every job as an audition.
Yes.
You got the job, but it's actually an audition for the next job or your career in general. I mean, the calls I've gotten over things I've done, like you were there or you were a cousin of a guy who said what, like, it's just kind of wild how small everything is now, how it's all networked. That said, there's a bunch of people in the chat that seem to know you, man. And guys, please feel free to ask questions. This is why we're live. Emmanuel Phillips says,
oh, Emmanuel, that's my boy.
That's your boy?
Yeah. Darwin, what's up, man? Thanks for being here.
Darwin's in here. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're well. This is so you and me got to go to Japan for the Sigma 3 to 600 f4 video.
On a bed.
Yeah, on a bed. Yeah. But just to give you an idea of how nice this guy is, it's a 14-hour flight. My man's TV was broken on the way back. He was like, do you have any idea in this era how many people would flip out if they didn't have a TV to look at for 14 hours?
I was actually lucky that I downloaded like 5 movies on Netflix, but I've heard people yelling on the aisles like, hey, why is this not working? I paid all this. I'm like, what you gonna do? Like, you're here, just deal with it. I have a bed, I'm comfortable, I'm in the air. I just came from Japan. Like,
I'll tell you, working with this guy, you know, you're groggy, you know, it's a long trip. You're not sure what you're going to get into. He gets off of a bus or we get started and his energy cranks up and you can't help but go like, let's go do something. Like, I mean, look, it wasn't the easiest thing, but when you were like, I mean, I just could feel you orbiting around me the whole time. And like, you're running around with your gimbal, just like getting everything you can. It's like, okay, well, let me look for stuff. Hold on, you know, and it was, especially when we were on the beach and we were shooting those geese, I just felt you the whole way. Yeah. And boy, did you make it look cinematic.
Well, you had the hardest job. That lens was pretty, and you didn't have a monopod.
We all had a hard job. We all had our job. It was.
I'm saying if Seth is doing it, then I can't complain. I have to get these shots. He's looking very cool with these mountains behind.
Every time someone that comes up on the screens here, I'm not even making this up. I'm not making this up. Someone says this looks great. It's really a testament. I don't think you give yourself that much credit. I also think you don't. I'm typing on the wrong keyboard, guys. I am all sorts of rusty. I don't think you give yourself enough credit of like what you're producing out there. I think you're so confident, so automatic on to deliver at a level that you just go and do it. Yeah. So let me ask you, while I'm pulling up this video, you were working construction. At what point did you feel that confidence to just go, you know what? I don't got to pick up another shovel. I'm doing this.
Well, how it happened was I got hurt. I picked up the camera. I got hired for this class. I'm not even going to mention the name, but it was grueling, man. I was filming for 3 hours and then I had to edit a 3-hour class. And that person was paying me $500 per class. And I was doing that like 3 times a week. And that was way more than what I was making at construction. And I said, you know what? This might be something. I don't know. I bought all the equipment I needed. I jumped and then I just kept going.
So when you say you bought all the equipment you needed, how did you even assess that?
A lot of YouTube.
A lot of YouTube.
Yeah. So I needed audio. I needed lights. I bought the cheapest stuff I could. And that's how I just did. This is how I'm going to do it. It doesn't look great, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to learn. And I was shooting weddings after that because of that job, because now I have more flexibility. I don't have to go to a 9 to 5.
So you never second shot for a wedding or
never.
Anything? You were just like, hey, I'm going to do the primary?
And then, no, I'm lying. I actually did second shoot. Okay. Like 3 events.
Okay.
And then I felt confident enough. Yeah, no, it was wild. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump and do it. I might as well learn on getting paid.
Wow. Wow.
Which is a risk, but I delivered it and it went well. And yeah.
Wow. I think that's the hardest part for people is that confidence. Yeah. I think once money's involved, people get shook. you're expected to learn. Now they can
Yeah.
now they can complain, right?
Yeah,
you
you're
know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah, because they paid.
So have you learned anything since then that you would go back to those first weddings and be like, you know what I should have done?
Not to obviously. Sometimes the client expects too much, and you say you're a yes man when you're beginning, and you think you could achieve everything, and then maybe you under deliver, and maybe on that. But when it comes to the weddings, how I shot them and what I did, even from the beginning, shooting with an 80D, the quality wasn't great, but no, I felt proud of that because I learned a lot.
I also think it's important to when you start out with something like an 80D or whatever, and you learn why the higher end cameras are what they are.
Yeah.
I've seen people just come and be like, well, I'm a guy that's got some money and I'm just going to go pro. And they just buy, they don't even know why it is what it is or how it works the way it works or what they're really looking at. They don't even appreciate what they probably just dodged by something else, right? Are there something nowadays in the gear that we're using that you absolutely need to see in there? Are you like, I gotta have 4K 120 all the time? If it doesn't have stabilization, I can't use it. Like, is there something you're always looking for?
No, I pay a lot of attention to the autofocus on the camera.
Okay.
If the autofocus is really good and snappy and the breathing is not so like jarring.
Yes.
I love that of a camera. But I mean, Canon, Sony, they're all producing great stuff, man. It's all about the reason why I shoot with the A7S III is not because it's the best camera, it just does 120 and it's not a high megapixels, which is good in low light. So I could throw that anytime. I could use it in bright daylight and I could use it almost pitch black.
Absolutely.
So that's the reason I just choose the camera depending on my needs. If it does what I'm looking for and if it's solving a problem, then that's it. I buy it. I don't go for like, oh, I need this in the camera. What camera does what I need? And then I purchase that.
That's a pro. That's a pro going, I'm trying to do this. What's the tool?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And as far as glass goes, are you looking for, because a lot of glass is based on characteristic.
Yeah.
And I feel like, this isn't a knock on you, but I feel like you're not really looking for the most artistic thing.
Yeah.
You're like, we're getting this done kind of guy. Not like, oh, no, I need the dreamy, soap bubbly.
No.
Like you're not that guy, right?
No. I get the shot that I think looks the best. And then I put it all together. Okay, what did I capture? I did the best that I could. And then let's put it together on editing. But when it comes to lenses, the G Masters are great. I shoot with Sony. But since I figured out that I'm going to be using the gimbal so many times and so much, I need a lighter setup. And that's why I moved to Tamron.
Gotcha.
And Tamron, most of the stuff that you see on my page is shot with a Tamron.
Okay.
The 28 to 75 and the 17 to 28. The G Masters are great, but I feel like the quality that those lenses are giving me, they're lightweight. They just do the job.
McCoy Photo saying first time writer, long time watcher. Thanks so much for joining in the chat. Finally, you lurking, these lurkers, man. No, and respect to us both. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And Matthew's studio equipment is like learning while you're earning. It is nerve wracking when you're like, yes, I can totally do this. And you're like, oh man, I better watch like 40 YouTube videos on this. Or
that's what I did.
You know how many times I've had to download instruction manuals to things on my phone before going to jobs in my early. I'm like, oh wait, how do I make it do the thing? What's sRGB? You know, that whole thing.
The good thing is that the equipment that I was buying at the time had a lot of YouTube videos reviews.
Oh yeah.
So at least I got those and I got to learn what the camera does and doesn't do.
Well, that was the era that we're in. I mean, I think you hit your career in the right time, right? Like you're producing for people that in this era, we need more content than ever before. And people who would never need it now want it.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, especially companies, have you noticed this? They're like, we'll just give the intern the phone. Then they quickly realize like, no, we got to step it up if we have a brand.
100%.
So I feel like because of that, you hit exactly your style, your workflow, what you produce at the right time it was needed. And you just like took advantage of it. So a lot of props to you for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I think I got in at the right time, like you said. Because in the beginning, when I started filming, it was my first YouTube video was with Manny Ortiz.
Okay.
And from Manny is where everything kind of trickled down from. From Manny, I met V Flat World. Then from V Flat World, I met you guys. Then we did the series Street Studio.
Right.
And that's how I met Lindsay. So at that right time, I delivered for Manny. Then I delivered for V Flat. Then V Flat Adorama, and Adorama Lindsay, and then it just happened from there.
I'm not kidding you. You became like the guy for photo education. It was so like you knew you shot this. Like every time I saw something, I was like, oh, I guess Sam's working for Vanessa now.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I could just tell, you know.
That's awesome.
But it's just it's a really cool little niche because I don't know if this happens for you, but like you're sitting there filming education content, you've probably picked up, like even when I'm doing live streams for everybody and they're doing the instruction, I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
so you're just filling up your bank on top of what learning while you're earning, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like you see all these people at their top, and it's hard not to learn something while you're there.
Yeah.
Even if you're paying attention to your own job, but just seeing it's the value to me when it comes to shooting these creators is their mind process as they're looking at what they're shooting. And that's what I really take from. So you think that a pro just sits there, puts the lights, flashes, and it's perfect. The process to just, let's move this light 2 inches. Let's change the diffuser. Let's feather it a little bit. That's what I really learned from them. It's like they really make it look good in camera first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big, me, Daniel, like most of we're on the same page as like
Yeah.
get it dialed as hard as you can. 'Cause that's what we do, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Someone's asking, what about Fujifilm? Have you shot with Fujifilm at all?
No, I did a review with Ab for Fuji,
yeah.
and those images came out great. So no, never shot Fuji.
All right. And there's a question from, well, first, McQuay's saying, one of these days I need to take a day off from work and come out from LI and sit in one of those chairs. You are always welcome here. These chairs are literally for you guys as much as that chat room is, but we appreciate you joining virtually. Don't forget about the Adorama live event channel, Adorama events. Everything's streamed over there. I'm going to get this guy in here. Watch, you'll see. Brad's asking, what Tamron lenses do you use that have little to no breathing for video?
I think the breathing obviously is the lens, but I think your settings in your camera has a lot to do with that. Like Sony, you could dial in how much breathing you want, how fast you want it to rack focus. And but my Tamrons work great, but the G Masters obviously are better, but they're just heavier if you're doing a lot of gimbal work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new F2 lenses that they put out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I haven't touched them yet, so I can see them online, all the reviews, but unless I have them in my hands, I don't judge them.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really interesting. It's an interesting time we're at with glass because we're kind of getting these like zooming primes out of that. That 300 to 600 that we shot in Japan,
Yeah,
was like a zooming prime. It was very interesting to where we're at. You know, a lens like that, that's around. I don't want to say probably around $6,000, but like just a 600 prime is twice that, maybe even more.
Wow.
So it's just kind of amazing what we're at and what the tools we have. And you're a tool guy, like that's the thing, right? So you're getting all this stuff when you need to get something done. It's right there.
Yeah, you have it a chance.
When you film for all the photo educators, what's a day like? Is it like 3 videos for the day? Is it just one banger? Is it like the longest day ever? Is it quick and filthy? Like, what do you, or do you leave it set up and you come back? Like, what's your workflow? When you're doing those types of videos?
Well, touching again on Lindsay, which is, we shoot like 4 times a month. Lindsay knocks out 4 videos a day. So we're creating the B-roll, her shooting it, everything that same day. So that's basically what my day looks like. I just go in there, tripod, talking head, or she shoots first, create the B-roll, and then after the B-roll, she's just a mastermind. She remembers everything she did, and then she just talks about it. Yeah. So that's usually how the day goes. That's how I like to shoot it.
No script.
No script. Yeah. No, well, she has a script of what she wants to shoot. But me personally, you tell me.
Shot list, right?
Yeah, we have a shot list. We need to get this, especially if it's a product. We need to get this lens, beauty shots, get it, and I just move around her and just get different angles.
And the more you do it, the more efficient it gets.
Yeah.
The more you can catch or expand it if you want because you did it so much faster. And
100%. Yeah, and you know the shots that you need. You don't overshoot.
Learning while, so Ricardo's asking, learning while earning, but will you do it again or suggest it to a newbie?
If you feel confident in what you're shooting for yourself and you think that you can manage what they're asking for, then I'll say yes.
Yeah.
I felt confident enough to do it myself because I shot it. I mean, 3 times is not a lot, but I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm patting myself in the back, but I feel like I'm a fast learner. So I got it and I went and did it and it went well. And that's all the confidence you need. When you do it once, then you kind of realize, okay, then maybe I could do this again.
We also got to remember, in the end, it's the client that has the expectations. So it's not just your confidence, but like if you're at a level and they're just expecting that level,
yeah,
it's okay, right? So
exactly.
You're delivering what they asked for, right? Maybe you look back on it and go, you know what, I could have done this. Maybe if I get a slider over here while I'm shooting this, I'll get that or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we all do that. No one's ever not growing. You have to kind of give yourself credit to go. I just think you were like, you know what, I'm hot shot at that.
I'm jumping. Yeah. I mean, recommended, I wouldn't say recommend, but I mean, that's how I did it and it worked out. So yeah.
So Darwin's asking thoughts on creatives not charging their worth in the industry. And what was the moment you realized the business side is just as important? Wow. Okay.
I think that's to me or to you.
You
To
are
me?
the guest.
Okay.
I'm always here. We're on like 60 episodes of this. I'm always here.
Okay,
I'm always here.
I think you kind of establish your worth. And one thing that I did that helped me not need to expect the next paycheck, and that's why you take jobs that probably you don't want and you kind of lowball yourself,
Oh, interesting.
is I banked a lot of money from my weddings. Enough that I say I could survive for 6 months out of this. And then I started taking the clients that I felt kind of met me either in my price range or what they wanted to create. And that's how it helped me not let myself be lowballed. You know, I was starting to get my worth that way. And I just wasn't taking a gig just because I needed the money at the time. I was taking it because I felt like, yeah, this person really gets it. They really want something of quality and they're taking my talent into consideration. It's not just how low can I get this work for.
You also have to consider, are you bidding against somebody?
Yeah.
Right? Like, did they come to you because they are aware and they say, this is what I saw you do? What is your price?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think some people are quick to lowball because they're scared they won't get it.
That's true. But you have to kind of, I mean, it's hard. If you need the money, you're going to take it, but then you're going to be known as the guy that's cheap, you know, and then you're doing good work, and then that's going to trickle down. And you're going to keep getting clients like that. Don't think that one person is not going to talk to the next. I'm getting the clients that I am because somebody is telling them this is his price, this is what you're going to get, and they appreciate that. But if you keep on lowballing yourself, you're just doing yourself a disservice.
And sometimes you have to educate the client. I mean, right now we're facing, I'm not even making this up. You'll find clients now that'll be like, you know what, I'll just do this one in AI.
Yeah.
And once they realize their engagement goes, or Google wasn't prioritizing whatever they're putting out there, whatever the reason is, it might take another turnaround and another discussion. You got to kind of be patient.
You have to be patient, and that's where it comes to have some money saved up, because then it gives you some like leverage to wait a little bit. I had a client that I charged them something, an amount of money to shoot. They wanted to get the same service for less price. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. How am I going to give you the same thing back? And I waited. They tried somebody else. I waited again. They tried somebody else. And now they booked me for 6 sessions straight because they realized like, oh, this is why his price is his price. You know, it's not only about the quality of what you're producing. Also, you're great to work with. You deliver fast and you always give them consistent work. It's like it's not going to be less. Your next video is going to look the same as the last one.
And sometimes holding your ground means that you get the type of clients that don't question the value. Like when you work with a brand, it's way different than working with someone, a private person. Yeah. Sometimes the private person has no concept of what this actually takes. You know, anytime someone asks like, what's the price on headshots? When you tell them like a status quo in New York is like $1,200, like for a photo. Yeah. And you're like, I don't think you realize what's going into that. Yeah. I mean, hair and makeup, there's $400 out of that $1,200. Now what? The studio rental, if you had to rent a studio, like it doesn't matter what it costs you, but what it cost them to produce it themselves is what you kind of have to think about for the pricing. Yeah, you have to educate them in that sense. And also, I feel like charging per hour is also a problem. I feel like you need to charge for the project. Oh, people are doing by the hour still? Yeah, they still doing that. And then they realize, oh, but this only took you 2 hours, or it doesn't matter. It's like I'm delivering what you wanted. It takes me half an hour in an iPhone. Did you get what you wanted? And, you know, I don't know. That's still going on. That's crazy. So think about it this way. If they're charging per hour, let's say someone's less skilled and it takes them longer and they get a worse result. Where's the logic in that? Yeah. So it took me 30 minutes. Does it matter? It gave you what you wanted. But if you got someone that was less experienced and it took them a day and they gave you something less than, you're paying more for someone that can't do the job in theory. 100%. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Hourly. I would lose my mind if I gave it. Yeah, no. They still ask me how much you charge an hour. But also part of the way we survive is you build up your kit, for example, so you don't have to do rentals, right? Yeah. That's your investment in your gear. Yeah. I have a studio, so now I don't pay for a rental studio every time. Like you build up so that your overhead gets lower and lower and lower. Yeah. So that when you give that next day rate that was the same when you had a high overhead, you are now making, what's that money? Oh, profit. You get to make a living. I get to eat, pay my rent. Oh, buy that third camera that can let me do the video while I'm doing 2 stills. Like 100%. That's where people have to realize, like, you stick with what you're doing. Don't let them worry about what is happening on the back end. Yeah. Let them worry about what you're delivering. Yeah. You know? Yeah, that's the way to look at it. And buying your own equipment is very important too. I have all my own equipment. I buy everything, and that you don't have to worry about renting, and then maybe you can maneuver the pricing a little better there too. Do you ever rent your own gear to other people? People do that all the time around here. No. I would lose my mind. No. And then especially if they touch my settings and my camera, then hand it back. So I'm going to combat you on that because I have this is going to sound crazy. but I have a bunch of memory cards for every camera that I've used, and I save my settings to it. So no matter what they hand me, I can get going pretty quick. Like I have a Z9 memory card here at all times because if like somebody hands me something off display, I can plug in my settings. That is one of the best things in modern cameras ever. So I urge you to just keep a 16 gig card, just like a 8 gig card. Just keep the settings on it. Keep it in your wallet. You know, treat it like that thing. You know,
in case it happens.
It's a case. It happens. You know, and it saved my life a bunch of times.
Or I could just not lend my equipment, and then it won't happen at all.
Well, I'm saying like you might have. So, for example, I had a camera go down on from physically getting smashed. I had to get a rental, right?
Gotcha.
So I got the same model, but I'm not going to sit there going.
You're right.
Like,
very good trick.
It's the best thing about
I can see that.
cameras. You haven't lived, kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you had any disaster stories? Have you had anything completely fall apart on you? Or
recently?
Oh no way! Tell me.
Yeah. I was shooting for V-Flat World, and my 70-200 fell from the. And now the ring is tight, and now the focus is kind of off. So I don't know. Maybe I'll bring it here to get a face or something. But I haven't really broken much equipment.
What about like actual job wise? Has it just like ripped open, raining out of nowhere?
No. What happened? I was shooting at, I think it was Virginia or Florida, something with label shorts, and my.
Oh, he's a lot of energy.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't
nice
need,
guy, sweetheart.
You don't need coffee with Label. Label is your coffee. The energy is always 100. He's awesome. I love Label.
There's a video on this channel. If you want to see Label Schwartz shooting headshots in the street, look up V-Flat World on this channel.
Yeah, Street Studio. That's the first episode. But I lost like $6,000 worth of stuff in the suitcase, and the airline doesn't cover for electronics or anything like that. It just covers for clothes. So now they want you to find receipts. It was crazy. I'm so happy I had insurance because that was still like, I was still trying to find my way in.
Was that your like business insurance, like
my own business insurance?
So the flight insurance?
No,
okay.
no. They gave me like $1,000.
That's like a nightmare for me.
It's horrible.
I will
horrible.
go to jobs with no clothes or personal things. I was just telling you guys. I like just make sure the gear is on me.
Me too. Now I carry my cameras, my lenses, memory cards, anything that I know that I could get away with shooting whatever I'm doing. But then everything else is like diffusers or tripods. Then that I throw under that I could get anywhere.
I always keep cameras, lenses, at least one strobe of some kind in my bag. So if I lose everything, this is where the pro comes in, right?
Yeah.
Get it somewhere close to what you said.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Or you try to rent if you can get if you're in a place that could do that, but. Nothing sinks your heart faster than like, I don't have the tools I needed, but you should give yourself the ability to get things done with a smaller kit that are on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I carry my 600 in my suitcase, but then I have a 200 flash with an ND in case I have to like, at least I get the picture done.
Nice.
Yeah.
There is a question in the chat. Do you have a dream project? We talked about this kind of, but.
No, I don't have anything.
He's soulless, don't you guys?
Right now, what I'm working on is like more workshops, more one-on-one with people, educational. I'm trying to go that way. It's just like pushing me that way on its own. But that's basically like my goal right now. I'm creating actually a masterclass on gimbal, shooting cinematic, like step 1 to setting your camera, to setting your gimbal, to how I shoot, to editing, to how I edit my videos, color grading, like the whole 9. And next week that should be completed, and hopefully like in a month it should be out.
So make sure you hit up him at one of these things that are on the screen if you're watching this back and he's got an education. I love this guy. I can't tell you. He just makes you want to do. He just makes you want to do stuff. There is someone's asking, how do you break into commercial campaigns? Have you done any campaign work?
Yeah, I've done for clothing companies.
Sephora, right? I think we both worked for Sephora.
Sephora, I did a shoot for it was Vanessa Joy when she was recently coming out in Sephora. It's a makeup company. I do a lot of e-com shoots for clothing brands.
Right.
Yeah. So how I break into that? They reached out one day. I've never had to reach out to anybody. I'm just lucky that way. I blame that to the luck. What happened?
You're on momentum. You've delivered so much work. You have to realize every time you put something out there, like that's like 10 opportunities for everything you've done.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's what happens in my career. I've never had to do any promo. They just come to me, and one clothing company came to me. I delivered, then the other one came, then the other one came, and I've shot for like at least 5 now. I just did one for, I don't know if I can say the brand, but it was a t-shirt pants company. We shot in Soho. We just did that recently. So yeah, they just keep coming in.
So how did you break that first one?
They wanted photography, and then they found out I did video, but the videos that I did wasn't really up there, whatever they wanted. And I said, hey, I can do it the same way. I just did it. It came out good, and that's it. How to break in? I don't really have an answer for that, since everything is word of mouth when it comes to my business. I don't have to put it out there or reach out. It just comes.
I think you don't get anywhere sitting idle. If you want to go do, just even if it's not a job, go shoot something out and put it out there. That's a proof of concept. If you want to start shooting for press, start going to major events and shooting the parades in your town or events, and start putting it out there, and you will be known and have a body of work to show an example. So if you want to do commercial, find a small designer, shoot with them, give them looks, let them put it out there. The more you're out there, the more buckets you have to land something. You know, that's
also true. If you don't have anything in your portfolio that you could show, maybe they're not going to reach out. You can't reach out to them. So that's a good way of looking at it.
They?
Yeah.
If they can't,
you're right.
What, they're going to trust you, bro?
Yeah, you're right.
No, I can do it, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah,
trust me, bro.
Yeah, you're right. That's the way to go about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, what would you say is the best niche to make money while pursuing passion projects on the side?
The best niche. We were just talking about that. I don't. That's just me. A lot of people have a niche. This is the way I shoot. I feel like I shoot so much different things. I don't have a niche. And that's why I feel like maybe I've stayed in business for this long. It's just because I could do photography, I could do video, I could do commercials. If you want educational content, if you want interviews, a niche, I don't know. Do you feel like it kind of holds you back a little bit?
Listen, you're talking to a guy that shot zombies and aliens for 15 years. Like a little bit. I'm not gonna like people just go like, they don't think you can do something else unless you put it out there. Then if I put something else out there, the zombie guys forget I'm the zombie guy. So I'm like, how do I play this game, right?
Yeah.
But I like to think that if I just keep it out there, one for one, people just understand you can shoot. And I think with you, it's not the niche. I think with you, your style is so applicable. Because it's clean, right? It's got that commercial edge. If people, and that's what you can't go wrong with that. You know, if they want to get something a little more gritty, like if you wanted to start shooting like 28 Days Later style or something like that's not going to happen.
Not for me,
But you could figure it out if they asked you to.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you can shoot clean commercial, that's like the baseline. That's like saying, you know, oh, this guy, he can write well. Well, can you write on this topic? Yeah. Oh, you shoot clean. Can you shoot this for me? And you might get notes from your clients saying like, actually, can we do it so it's a little more edgy like this?
Yeah.
You will figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, you will. So
I think so. If you could get a clean image, then somebody, at least they know that you could get a clean image and you could get a quality looking image. I think that's enough for a client that's like, I think I'll give them a chance to.
Technique quality level.
Yeah.
Because you can't ever go up in quality after it's delivered.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Like, you know, oh, come on, Matthews. Matthews is asking, what's your favorite piece of support gear?
What he means by support gear?
You know, C-stands, arms, clamps. This is Matthews, the actual grip company. So.
Oh my God. Oh, gotcha.
You're a gimbal guy. Come on.
That's great. I mean, I'll figure it out when I come back.
When you travel with lighting, do you bring C-stands around you? Or do you rent grip when you land?
No. I bring collapsible stand.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, and if I need anything like to hold either a backdrop, then I'll rent it where I'm going. In Miami, I did an e-com shoot, and I just rented everything over there, the backdrop, the C-stands. But I bought certain tripods that I like to use and certain things like that. But no, I try not to travel with all that stuff.
Let me ask something. You've been, I know, I mean, when I check in on you, you're always shooting in like a hot climate.
Yeah.
I can't function in the heat, and gear does overheat pretty easily if it's really hot out. Do you have any concerns when you're in those environments?
The A7S III has never overheated on me, so I'm happy about that. I've seen other cameras heat up, but no, I haven't had that issue with anything like overheating or anything like that. And I just shot a clothing company in Soho that Monday that it was like 99, 98.
Yo.
We were outside the whole day.
God, your work ethic.
Yeah.
I can't. And I think, honestly, you drive me crazy. Your work ethic, your fitness ethic. I look at my phone while I'm like dying on my feet with my horrible physique, and I'm like, God, Sam. Oh. Like it just drives. But I think it all goes together. It just shows what kind of person you are, man. You go for it. And you can't not respect it. And then you deliver. I got to tell you, like, that Japan video was like the most beautiful thing.
Thanks, man.
Say, man.
I had a good subject, so.
Oh, please. Oh. No, I mean, the mountain in the background, your exposure for the ambient was incredible. I mean, not everybody has that, or the movements that worked. You know, a lot of people overdo the movements or the kitschiness. Like everybody thinks they've got to do this craziness, but I think
Yeah.
you have enough feel for it, right?
Yeah. With time, it comes like with the experience, you kind of know what you need and what looks good right away. But you just gotta practice. I guess I kind of made my eye do that right away as soon as I see it. I'm like, oh, this will look good, and yeah. And I'm thinking also in the editing, because I edit most of my own stuff. So I kind of know if I do this, it's going to look cool
I think
in the
that's
editing.
so huge. I think when it's the person editing it who shot it, it makes a big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
So Brad's actually asking, so what do you do if they stop coming? So if you feel like maybe your momentum slows down, do you think you'd go and advertise, or would you try a different pathway? Or?
I probably would. I probably will. Or reach out, after I really have 9 years in the business, but I only count like 6 is when I started doing like the stuff that I'm doing now. And I have such like a spider web of people that I know that I could just reach out. I could reach out to, hey, I have this content idea. You want to create something, or what's going on with you? And I think that's probably the route that I will take first before advertisement. I'll probably just reach out to everybody that I work on or shot for and say, hey, what you have going on? Let's do something.
I think that's the thing, that the confidence builds, because when you shoot for one, you have the opportunity to shoot for 3, right? I mean, how many times I've shot for a client, but then I end up doing a portfolio for the makeup artist that was on set, and then
that's happened.
Yeah, or I got a job at Fashion Week a million years ago, because I shot a portfolio for a makeup artist, and so they were looking for someone. She really fast. The guy was sick.
Wow.
So like, can you come through? Like, yes, I can. Let's do this. But I think you're out there so much. Everything you do is, like you said, a spider web. I think you get to a point where that stresses off you, but then now your stress is the workflow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now it's how can I be sane while I get all these jobs and have like this, how can I edit? How can I have time to spend with my wife? How can I have time for vacation?
Does he really have to spend time? Does he have to spend time with you? He's working. He has to find time?
Yeah.
She's on set with you most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. And we were home when I'm editing, so yeah. You got to juggle that.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to have a team partner like that. And it's great to be supportive of each other,
100%. She's the reason I'm here.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How do you pick your shots and B-roll for BTS content like you did for Manny and Lindsay? What's your shot list? So is it your shot list? Do you collaborate with their shot list?
No. I go in there and I shoot what I think looks good. This is my work process. I go in, what are we shooting? Where are we shooting it? And then I just throw on whatever lens I think is going to work for that shoot. If it's a tight spot, then I pick a wider lens. If it's something that I can step back, then I pick like a 24-70. I get as much pretty shots as I can possibly get from different angles. And then when I'm editing, I skim through it and I just stop these beautiful 3 seconds because I know I'm going to slow it down. It's at 120 frames.
Like, your editing is sick.
And then I spread it out, and then I'm like, okay, move to the next. So that's really my process. I just get as much nice shots as I could get, and then I'll worry about it in post, which people say worry about it in post, but that's been working for me.
The more you have to work with, the more you're going to be
100%. Yeah. Don't be lazy on the shoot. Just shoot everything.
Do you ever like bank some of that BTS? So like, for example, Lindsay might do an advertisement for a workshop, and you have extra B-roll from something.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that a lot, and I save. Well, I have all her videos saved, like probably all the advertisements that you get on Instagram.
Every time
probably
on
all
my
my shots.
Lindsay's smiling face, going, "Let me teach you some stuff," and I was like, "Man, Lindsay's just crushing, man."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also. You also get like luxury. So when you have like steady clients, you work in the same space.
Yes.
So you get to know the space. You're not looking for a power outlet.
No.
You're not, you get to leave something there maybe.
100%.
It's the best when you have a destination point. One of my clients was a makeup school. I just left everything there. I made a kid just for that. I'm like, I'm just walking in.
I love those days. When there's multiple days, I just take out my chips and batteries, and then I leave everything there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh boy, you guys are alive now. Look at this. What's going on here? What are your favorite gimbal movies? Jose, you are on fire with these questions, man. Do you know this guy?
Which one?
What's your favorite gimbal movements? Do you change factory settings on your DJI?
Oh yeah, factory settings I definitely change. My pan speed, I'll just tell you, if you have the DJI, is 20, and my joystick I think is 15.
Sell it as a preset. What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
What are you
Don't
doing?
worry, it's coming out preset. But yeah, no, I changed the settings because maybe you might want to move faster than your gimbal responds, and then you have to set that. You gotta tweak it to your liking, and you'll get better movements that way if you just leave the factory.
Well, that's a good question. Tara's asking, do you ever go blank? Like when you have to go shoot, is there any moment that you go like, you're not even sure what to get next or start?
Yeah, I've done shoots for, I think it was a nursing home, and it was just like this most just cringy looking place. It just didn't look right. It was very depressing, and I was like, I don't know what to get. And what I did was I brought a light and I added like this little pocket of light to just her and her caretaker, and that just happened to work. But that doesn't happen often. Sometimes the shot just doesn't work and you just move on to the next, unless it's scripted and you have a plan. But if you don't have a plan, not all your shots are gonna look great and not all your shots are gonna work. We're getting on the next one.
And sometimes it's just, yeah, you were hired, but it wasn't the vibe you're used to. Like I like creepy, grimy.
Yeah.
I had to shoot an old age home once and it was still operating. They moved. This sounds so horrible. Forgive me. But they moved the people to another room and we shot in one other room.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hearing them the whole day complaining and all that stuff. And you're just like trying to not let it. But because it was depressing, I was like, I know how to like this. Let's get grimy,
Yeah.
But then there's times where it's like, they want like a fashion aesthetic. I don't have a fashion mindset, but I can get them an edgy look or a noir look. I had to talk in those terms.
Yeah.
And I think you have to kind of find the language point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. You have to find like what they understand, because sometimes they could explain what they're looking for, but they really don't know.
Oh, they got to show you now.
Yeah.
Like if how many times a client will be saying something to you and you're like, oh, got it.
Yeah.
But then you're on two different worlds.
100%.
Oh my gosh, man.
I tell them to send me samples all the time.
Beautiful.
What are you looking for? What do you expect? And then if they want something shot by a big company, be like, well, this is how much it takes to create what you have. This wasn't shot like just with one light. But as long as they give you like references, it's easier to create.
Do you shoot a lot of BTS while you're shooting? So like if a client says, hey, we want something like this, I'm like, I'm not kidding you. This is what it takes. And they can see what goes into production. Do you give them that proof of like
do I give them
if someone's shooting you as you're working? So if someone says like, hey, I want to do this, and you give them a price and they go, wait, what? And then you can show them this BTS, like, look at what goes into this.
Oh, no, I've never done that. That would be good to do. Find BTS of a shoot that so they can know what it takes. But even as much as you try to explain to them, it's like if they're looking for prices, and it's not going to matter what you tell them. At the end of it, if it's too high, it's too high.
What is your point at which you say, yes, I'm going to do a location shoot? Like when you jump to you go to DR, you go to wherever, like where are you just already going there and then trying to find work? Or is it...
I've done that many times. Okay. Like I go to a spot and they tell me, and they tell me, oh, if you want to shoot, I've done it with you guys. I was in DR and you guys wanted me to shoot a lens, and I was like, hey, I'm down here, I might as well do it. And I took the equipment and went. But sometimes locations is difficult because now they got to pay your price plus travel plus that, so then it adds up. So I might as well take a few vacations, create video, and maybe that video paid for my vacation and more. So
yeah, I've always been like, whenever I have to, in the years ago in my career, when I had to pitch or give a quote for something that would require travel, I'm always like, in my head, I always said they're just going to get a local guy.
Yeah,
they're just going to call
100%.
in someone. They're going to see this part of it, and they're going to go, why? And then I kind of, this is dumb. I don't recommend this, but I would use points for like getting the free flight and then take that off of the cost.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I burning my points?
You're right. Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Why am I doing this? But I was so nervous, and it happens, right? Like and sometimes I'm like, I really want to go to this spot. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
And you just hope for it, but I would say really pick what's valuable to you. The trip, like what are you doing or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that sounded like a horror movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Jose's asking, how do you pick 60 FPS or 120?
60 FPS, I only shoot it if I'm in a really dark room and the client doesn't want me to shoot S-Log.
Okay.
Which that happens, and you can't really push the ISO, so I have to be careful of that. But most of the time I'm shooting 120 frames. I just like the look, and I'm used to that look. When I shoot 60, it's just not as buttery as I'm used to.
You guys, look, you video guys are all like, just shoot everything 120. That way, 1 second will give me 5 seconds of video.
You can make a whole movie with 1 second.
I was out in Spain with Sal Dalia, and we're shooting the Lamborghini series, and he's just like, just shoot all your B-roll at 120. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, oh yeah. Everything was like anything that was a split second, he was like, rip, and I was like, God, it's so brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant. Everything looks cinematic. He's got a whole thing out of like a tiny
bit.
I'm like,
Yeah, you just got to move faster. If you move slow and you're shooting 120, then it's going to look like a stills.
Right.
So you just
right.
got to get that movement, whereas you can see movements even when you're slow down.
I'll tell you, for me though, I'm sensitive to seeing the movement of people in
Yeah.
120 when at normal rate.
Yeah, it looks
It
terrible.
freaks me out
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, and I'm like, I wonder how many civilians notice it. You know what I mean?
I think they do. They just don't know what it is. It feels wrong, but they just feel it here. They just don't know how to express it. Yeah.
it's in my. I know something just isn't right.
Isn't right.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I just missed something. Hold on. Oh, did you gradually build your business, or did you just jump in and figure it out? So, like, did you build a website? Did you figure out your contracts, or did you figure it out like, I did the job, now I better figure out a contract? It's like,
No, I didn't even know what a sole proprietor was, dude.
Same.
The first 2 years, I got hit with taxes so hard until I became a C corp. And now I'm a C corp now. But, dude, I was taking cash. I didn't expect to be a business ever. I didn't
30%.
expect to get into this. I just happened to start growing it, and then I figured it out as I went. But yeah, I will say incorporate your company fast. It'll help you in taxes.
I mean, 30% right off the bat.
Right
And
off.
You're just like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Desmond's asking, what type of gear insurance do you have?
Can I say
mind?
brand here?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Hiscox.
Okay.
They've been great. They charge me, I think it's $100 a month, something like that. I was at 50 for a lot of years, but and they covered the $6,000 that I lost. I haven't broken anything after that, but you could get your certificate of insurance from them. They're great. They've been great to me. So.
And you do need that certificate for commercial jobs. Like you will be asked to present it in certain venues, like arenas or something like that. They're going to ask you for that. Also, side note, if you guys are trying to figure that kind of stuff out, contracts, insurance, copyright, check out some of the organizations like Professional Photographers of America, APA, ASMP. These are all organizations that are built for us to kind of have those resources. And it's one of those things nobody teaches you.
Yeah.
I mean, man, did I get socked with that. And the laws change over time, and permits on stuff. Like if you shoot in the street.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll get crazy.
Oh, yeah. Everything's going to turn into an insurance thing.
Okay.
As freelancers, what do you do for personal health insurance?
I think it's Blue Cross, and I just pay it monthly, and it hurts.
I roll dice.
And I hardly get sick. So yeah, we're just feeding the monster.
Let's stay off of this.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? I know you're getting into workshops, but like, do you want to do like something longer, like a full-on documentary? Like, I know you do these I call them bite projects. Like, hey, I'm doing this YouTube video for this person. I'm doing this spec thing for this commercial. But what about something substantial? Would you want to be hired as the guy for a documentary or something Netflixy? Or if someone said, hey, we're doing a series for the next year, you my guy or not?
Yeah. I did a documentary that only lasted like 3 weeks though. And I was a cinematographer getting B-roll and stuff. It's still up on Amazon Prime. And that just wasn't my thing. It's just very slow paced for me for some reason. And I just didn't find like this is something I want to do. There's some people that like cinematography. They like taking their time with incredible lighting and storytelling and all this stuff. I like that to a certain extent, but long formats, man, it's just not for me.
I can picture like, you want focus pulling? Yeah.
No, I have an iPad I could touch and it'll focus back and forth with the Sony, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just very grateful of where I'm at. I'd never expected to be here at all. I was just a construction guy, and then having all this is a blessing. Like every day shooting anything is just like, I tell my wife all the time, it's like, I can't believe we're here. Like, we're doing this. We have time. We have freedom. We get to edit. We get to shoot. We get to meet cool people. And it's just that's just how I'm writing life, man. Just appreciating everything.
As long as you do right by client.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. It's the reputation, man.
Yeah.
They're asking how you spell the insurance company.
No, Xiscox.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You get 10% off if you mention my name.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
Oh, man.
He was about to call in that.
You're a step away from being one of those affiliate guys, I'm sure. I mean, would you want to build your own platform? I know you've been tinkering at it, but like, you film for everybody else, man.
I know.
Are you that shoemaker that doesn't have a good pair of shoes? Is that what we're doing here?
They keep telling me to build myself up as a brand, man. I just shoot for everybody else. I know how much it takes to be a YouTuber, a full-time YouTuber.
Yeah, man.
I know how much it takes to review consistently and having to come up with new ideas and stuff. And
Chase sponsors.
yeah, and I'm like happy shooting for other people. I sometimes put some stuff out for myself, but it's not like a main thing for me. So maybe I should. Maybe later on I'm gonna regret it and say, hey, maybe I should have built up my brand more. But I'm just, like I said, I'm happy where I'm at.
The way I look at it, like if I were you, if I could just throw you some advice,
Yeah.
I would film BTS of the jobs you're doing.
Okay.
And then do a talking head going back over what happened or like something that's specific that you could talk about.
Okay.
You do a 2 to 4 minute video every other week on your channel. Before you know it, at the end of the year, you have a channel.
Okay. I'm doing it.
You know, you're already doing the stuff. Why not do just a little bit more
Just
stuff?
a little bit.
You know?
Okay.
A little more stuff. No, Matthews, thank you so much. Martine, is that you, by the way? If you don't know, Martine was on here from Matthews. That was a great episode. And also, by the way, there's like, I think we're at almost 60 episodes here. 60.
Wow.
Yeah. Unreal.
It's crazy.
Right? I can't believe what's been going on. So if you're into this, there's like 50 something other episodes of this on this playlist. Go check it out. And don't forget to hit subscribe on this channel. We're at 1.4 million thanks to you guys. And we can't say thank you enough. And you're part of it as well. You're on this channel. You're on the cinema channel that's growing right now, Adorama Cinema.
Yeah.
Which I think is just past 30K right now. And it's like a new channel.
That's great.
You're part of that.
Yeah, no, that channel is growing, and it's great. The content.
Cinema's growing in general.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it just becomes so much more accessible. A cinema camera, if you said that, someone like, that's got to be $50 bazillion.
Yeah.
And now it's like $3,000. You
Yeah.
can get in there for $3,000 and
do
start
something
banging
crazy,
something around, you know? I think we're in such especially with you, you took such advantage of the era we're in with the self-publication, with the self-producing and self-publication. There's no gatekeeping. Like, my old face had to go and sit in conference rooms pitching to magazines, praying for like some kind of something to get published. Now you can just be like, here it is. Here's my platform, and build it yourself. And you are building those platforms for Lindsay, for Manny, for Vanessa, for us. So these are the guys. This is look at this face. Look at it. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're at the hour, man.
Yeah,
This was almost easy, right?
It went fast.
Did what I tell you?
Yeah,
I tell you, guys, go check out Adorama Cinema channel. There's a lot of product reviews from him, but also on this channel, R5C. I think he did the R62 video,
R62,
there's
DJI stuff,
You did a
Sigma
bunch of
stuff.
DJI.
Yeah,
Sigma video. Check out the Sigma 300 to 600 if you want to see how he films. He made me look epic in front of Mount Fuji. It was incredible. I was like, this is awesome, and it's probably one of those beautiful videos that I got to be in. So I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you.
If you guys get a chance when he sets up his education point, of course, now the air conditioning shuts off. If you guys get a chance when he sets up his education track and his workshops, make sure you check it out. My man is setting up photo walks, filming walks, and this is a total resource and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And you'll just get infectious on wanting to shoot around this guy. I got to tell you. So
thank you.
I really appreciate Samuel. Check out his stuff over here. Check back on him. If he doesn't have his YouTube channel established, if you're watching this in the future, yell at him. All right. He loves it. He loves being yelled at. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. This was great.
Of course. And I'm going to get you in here, maybe do a class or a talk or something.
Yeah, for sure.
It's on the events channel. Guys, don't forget, Daniel Norton is back on tomorrow. Jeez. Okay. He's doing lighting ratios on this channel, 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget about the Adorama events channel. I got Gary Hughes coming on live, big portraits in a small space. People think this is a small space. I don't know where they're coming up with that.
No, huge.
Yeah, massive. And then Johnny Edwards will be here as well doing a demo on layered lighting for portraits. So this is constantly going on. 5 p.m. Eastern is usually when it happens, and I'm live every Monday on the events channel at noon to answer whatever questions you have. So check out the live events channel. Check out that QR code for the event schedule. Samuel.
We're out.
Yeah, we are out. Guys, have a great rest of the day, and we will see you on the next one. Hit subscribe. Check out the rest of this on this playlist. I'm going to stop talking. I'm full of too much coffee. That's what's going on right now. Guys, be good to each other. Later.